Welcome to Rome. Today is our first day in the capital of Italy and we're already on our way out of the country.
That's true. We are visiting one of the smallest countries in the world, Vatican City or Vatican country.
It's also called as the Holy See. It's a micro-state that is completely within the city of Rome, and we're right now on the Roman side and we're just walking up. It's probably the most odd border crossing we would have ever experienced. So we're really curious to see what it is. And where we are right now, this is actually the river banks of the Tiber River. The Tiber River is an ancient civilizational river here, very important in Roman history.
So right now we're on the Italy side. That is the border. And on the other side is Vatican, the country. So now we're in the queue to go inside the church, and this queue is all around this complex, like right beside all these poles.
It's a very long one. I think we're at least a kilometer into this queue. So it goes around the St. Peter's Square and then goes into the security office where hopefully we'll reach in not too long from now.
And surprisingly, Vatican City has its own post office. This one. So that means we might be able to send a postcard from here.
Yeah, as long as it stays open when we come out. All the way somewhere inside.
We're still standing in the queue and it started raining. For the first time ever in Europe, we are actually standing in a queue to enter a church.
It's a very long queue and the only thing this is reminding us of is Tirupati. Because this is also a pilgrimage spot as Tirupati is back home in India. And people queue up like for a long time, so many hours trying to get a glimpse of the church inside. We finally made it in. I think we were in the queue for about an hour. A little bit more than that.
And it rained 3 times, it was sunny 4 times, it was quite windy.
Yeah. But now we're just walking into St. Peter's Basilica. And before we go in, a couple of quick facts. The whole country of the Vatican City is only 500 meters square.
Can you believe that? It's so tiny.
Yeah, and it's home to just over 800 people. I think most of them are bishops, fathers, monks, some nuns here and there. So I think that's how the computation comes out to only about 800 people. I don't think you can get residence here unless you are part of the Catholic thing. So interesting.
All the buildings look so grand and like heavy. I think it's all made of Italian marble.
Yeah, it looks really impressive. Some of these stones, they are more brown and some of these are very white. But the detailing is just amazing. So this right here is the grave of one of the popes, Alexander VII, and this is very beautiful sculpture here. That's the pope on top, and then there's a skeleton rising out from under, from the lower lands with wings. That room there inside the church That's actually called the sacristy, which is where all the popes have been listed. It's the most sacred room here in the church. Very beautiful. They listed all the names of the popes until the last pope, Pope Benedict, not the current one, because I think it means that the pope has passed on.
So we were walking and then we noticed that the names of places were mentioned on the floor. We learned that if you stand at that point, like here it says Prague, if you stand here and then look at the holy seat which is in front of us, that is the length of the cathedral back in Prague. It's like a symbolic representation of Prague's church here in Vatican City.
While this one is Prague, there's another one which is in the West Indies, another one which is in Boston, another one which is in Washington and Brazil and so on. So all of these countries, the main Catholic cathedral in those places, they are represented in form and spirit here. But it also means that the Vatican Cathedral, which is the St. Peter's Basilica that we're in, is bigger than all of them. And that dome right there, that was also actually painted by Michelangelo, and it was created when he was actually very young. And we also just learned that it's one of the largest freestanding domes in the world. Shish is offering to take pictures for somebody again. We are now back in St. Peter's Square. So this is the very central square of the Vatican City, a country. And we just learned that these two fountains on either side of the central area, it's actually the oldest fountains in the entire region here. It's from the 1600s. It's been running since. And this church actually has evolved over time. The earliest presence here goes back to, I think, 380 or so, although St. Peter was buried even earlier than that. And then over time, the church got built further and further up to what it looks like today.
Round the tiniest country in the world.
Vatican City.
Now that we have seen the church in Vatican City, it's time for lunch. So we've just made some new friends, Christina and David.
Hi.
Hi. So they are from a country we just visited a couple of weeks ago.
From the Czech Republic.
Nice.
For the first time, we have got pasta in Italy, and we also got something called succo. We don't know what that is, but we will try it for the first time. Just got rigatoni arrabbiata. This is rigatoni. That's the shape of the pasta. It's so creamy. I love the tomato sauce around it, and it's not as soft as I imagined it to be. It's kind of chewy.
Carbonara. I think it's one of the most known types of pasta. Basically made with eggs and bacon and some cream, and it's really good.
Nice. Okay, so this is supli. Basically a rice ball, a big rice ball that's fried, and on the inside there's tomato, there's cheese, and some other filling. It's a smiley flavor, but very delicious. We just finished lunch and we've now exited the Vatican City. So we're back in Italy. The portion of the Vatican City that we explored today is probably less than a third of what it actually is sized to be. So the rest of it is actually not accessible for most normal people. Like, you have to be part of the Catholic community, like the churches, or you must be a priest or a nun in order to get entry there. But there's also the Vatican museums, which exist behind the church, which if you have bought tickets to, you can go inside and even visit the Sistine Chapel. Our plan was to explore St. Peter's Basilica and St. Peter's Square, which we got to do. It was very nice. So yeah, that was the Vatican City for us. And now we go exploring a little bit of Rome.
I feel sad because the pasta which we had just now wasn't up to the mark. I didn't like it so much.
Maybe we should try again.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Put some kind of cheese on it and it smells genuine.
maybe Shish is just using this as an excuse to get a second round of pasta.
No, pizza! I always like pizza over pasta.
Non potrai far calogni amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, ma ci sono quattro giro.
Just refill the water bottle. There's free water in the streets of Rome. Reminds me of Armenia.
Non più avrai questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel...
Let's walk here. Just this much.
Buena idea eso de vender eso,
These seagulls, they're so crazy. They're so close to the camera. I'm trying to take it away.
Delle belle turbando al riposo, ma ci sento a dolcino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, ma ci sento a dolcino d'amor.